For me, the silence was loud, I'm sure, to a lot of people. Welcome back to Creatively Processed, the place for creative entrepreneurs to come together and discuss the upsides and downfalls of being your own boss. Did you miss me? How were the vibes? What did everybody do last week? If you are not following me on Instagram, first of all, what are you doing? Second of all, I posted on there last week that I would not be uploading an episode, not because I'm being lazy, first and foremost, but because I had COVID and I can kind of hear like the sickness in my voice still, so that's lovely. Yeah, I was on my deathbed last week. I really thought the end was near. I had a fever for at least 2 days, but I'm pretty sure it was 3 days long. It was so bad. I would wake up sweating my butt off, like just drenched in sweat. It was nasty, but we're feeling better. I was actually able to go on my walk yesterday, which was nice because seriously, I couldn't do anything. I was just completely hopeless, and my lungs are still suffering. If you were wondering, I can't walk around for an extended period of time without wheezing, so, we're better, but we're not perfect. Anyway, first I want to say thank you so much for everybody who did reach out. Everybody was just so sweet, wishing me good health, and I really appreciated that, so thank you to everybody who took a minute out of their day to say something to me. That was so sweet. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Obviously, we're going to do my weekly recap, talk about my habits and obsessions from last week, and discuss my goals for this upcoming week. The topic discussion this week is about loneliness and kind of combating the loneliness when you're an entrepreneur. And so I'm going to talk about my experience and then some things that I think you should keep in mind, especially if you're dealing with that kind of a feeling of like emptiness or just like not being completely whole because we have to work alone. So hopefully this will be relatable and helpful to you guys and maybe give you guys a little bit of a confidence boost. To wrap up the episode, obviously we're going to do some journal prompts. I have 3 this week and I think they're 3 good ones. So I say that every week, but I really like these ones. Okay, before I even get into this, I know I already said thank you for all the well wishes for my health, but I also want to say thank you to everybody who's like given me feedback about the podcast. I don't know if I have like ratings or reviews on any of the episodes, but I've had a lot of people reach out to me directly and y'all have been so nice, and it sounds like some of the stuff that I'm saying is resonating with people, so I really appreciate that because my goal is just to help like one person. I just want to help one person. If I can help one person feel better, then I'm doing something right, but it sounds like I'm helping a couple of people. So that's amazing and fantastic. So thank you for gassing me up and making me feel like there is a purpose behind my yabbering. Let's get this show on the road. Starting with the weekly recap, I've got some new media that I want to talk about because I'm excited. Actually, it's not new. Nothing is new, but we're in a new cycle for me, I guess. So for music this week, I've been listening to a lot of Khalid. I love Khalid, specifically the American Teen album. You guys, I love this album. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. This album, American Teen, has, songs like American Teen and 18, Saved, Keep Me. Like, I don't think there's a single song on that album that I skip. Like, I'll listen to all of them because they're all so good. But this album came out around the time that I was graduating high school, and the album itself was kind of about Khalid's same stages in life, so it was just so relatable. And even though it's not relatable now, it still brings me like that nostalgic feeling of graduating, getting my life together, like moving out of the house, all the things. And at that time in my life, it was honestly super lonely because I moved out of my parents' house. I moved in with my cousin, who was like my main support system for, I think I lived with her for 3 years or something like that. And we had each other, and that was really great because it's a lonely time, like moving away from all your friends, moving away from most of your family. Super lonely, a little bit overwhelming, but I had my cousin and I had this album to get me through. And I don't know if that's why I want to talk about loneliness this week, because I've been listening to that album, but I've experienced my fair share of loneliness with transitioning into a work from home lifestyle. That's the music. I'm still listening to that album. It wasn't just last week. Like I'm still vibing with it. It just makes me feel like it's summertime and just nice, and the birds are out and the sun is shining, and I'm longing for summer for real. For TV this week, I'm like such a creature of habit and cycle. I don't know why, but I just am. So the first time that my fiance and I got COVID was a couple years ago, and while we had COVID, we were watching Stranger Things for the first time. And so since I got COVID again, obviously I was like, all right, it's time to watch Stranger Things again. So yeah, we're rocking with it. I had a lot of downtime, obviously, because I couldn't be vertical. Everything was horizontal last week. So now I'm on season 3, episode 8. I heard that season 5, the final season, is coming out this year. I'm so excited to watch it, but I'm also just so sad because it's just such a fire show. It's so good. And I just love the 80s vibes. I've talked about liking old shows and blah, blah, blah. But there's just something so simple about it. I love that they ride their bikes everywhere. I love that there's no technology to distract from things. And I'm also, like I said, I'm in season 3, which is the season where the mall is like the main setting. And then there's also like the community pool and just like all this stuff that is so 80s coded. And I just love it so much. I wish I could have lived in the 80s. The 70s and 80s, dude. Someone copy and paste me into the 70s and 80s, because I would love it. For books this week, I'm still chugging away at Becoming Supernatural. It's a thick book and it's very, very informative, so it's not something that I can just sit down and like binge read. I mean, let me not say that, because I could do that, but I just really like it when I can let things soak in. And I do the same thing with Atomic Habits. Like I read a little bit and then I really let it soak in so I can start implementing the things I'm learning, like one step at a time, basically. That's the vibe with that. It's so good so far. I'm really enjoying it. I am confused though, because, or not confused, but I feel a little bit like played because so I have this book and it's like talking about all these success stories and stuff with Dr. Joe Dispenza's research, but all of these case studies on these people that were able to implement the things he teaches, the only way they could implement them is if they have the meditations, which is a separate thing that I have to go buy now. Whatever, I'll go buy it, but I was just like, dang, okay, so the book isn't enough. And I was so excited because I was like, this book's gonna change my life. No, the meditations that go with it will. So yeah, that's that. I'm still reading it. I still have a long way to go, but it's really good so far, and I do recommend it, but just be aware that you need to get the meditations to go with it. For work this week, I know I did that kind of backwards. I feel like normally I do work first and then I do media, but we're going into work now. Okay, so today's Tuesday, and yesterday was like a really big catch-up day because obviously I couldn't do anything last week. So yesterday I had to make and send out a wholesale order to my Shakedown Street people. So excited. I just love them. Every time they message me, I'm just like, this is the best day of my life. In addition to that, I've been prepping my leftover jewelry inventory, and my jewelry inventory is being put into a consignment shop. I was just going to put it in the one that I already have a connection with and I love, but there is a little, it's called like Moon Magic Medicine. Actually, let me confirm that, because these people are really sweet and they deserve like the proper shout out. Moon Medicine Therapeutics in Dorr, Michigan, which is like 15 minutes away from me, something like that. But it's just this really cute, like little hidden gem of a shop, and they have a bunch of tea that they sell, and then there's just a bunch of other little goodies. But the woman who owns it, she is a massage therapist, which is so cool. Hello. I've never had a massage. I really want to. If I get one, it's gonna be from her, and I'll let you know how it goes, because girl, I probably need one. But it's the cutest little shop in the smallest little town, and I was just like, oh, this is so local, I might as well, reach out and see what it's all about. So Josh had taken me there a couple weeks ago, and we went in and shopped around, and then her fiance was there, so I chatted with him and he gave her my info, and we connected, and she's so sweet and super chill. And so yeah, I'm gonna be putting the leftover jewelry that I have from being a jeweler into her shop in a consignment style. And I've already said consignment is not my favorite thing, but one thing that I wanted to talk about but didn't talk about in that episode when I talked about consignment and wholesale is that I feel like consignment is a really, really good way to get rid of old inventory. I don't think I talked about it. I know I wrote it down on my paper, but I don't know if I actually discussed it. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, I can put all of the things that I'm not selling currently on like online, or when I go to pop-ups, I can sell all those things in consignment stores and just kind of get rid of them, because then I don't have to worry about like upkeeping the inventory and blah blah blah, because once it's gone, so yeah, I've been working on that. I'm super excited. I'm gonna go there this week. Moving on, last week I got an email from Voyage magazine. I believe they're exclusively online. Yeah, they have interviewed me before or covered me before, and they reached out again last week to see if I wanted to be covered again, and obviously I said yes, because so much has changed since my last interview. And so I just finished all of that up yesterday, and I'm excited for that article to come out. I think that'll be fun. The first time they did a story on me, it was the coolest thing ever. I was like, oh my god, I made it. People want to talk to me. People want to know about me. But now I'm equally as excited, obviously. And you guys, I don't know what it is, but I feel like every time I'm sick or just completely unavailable to chat with anybody, I get the most messages and emails and offers, and it's insane. The world basically is like, okay, Carly's sick, let's bombard her with all of the things and see if she can handle them. You know what? I am handling them. Everything's good and wonderful. But last week I had 3 different people message me and ask me if I wanted to come do pop-ups at their shops, and obviously I'm saying yes, because anybody who takes the time out of their day to ask me to come pop up, girl, I'll be there. But the best part about all of these people who have asked me to pop up is that none of them are charging booth fees, which is awesome. I don't mind ever paying a booth fee, because the people who are organizing these events deserve to be paid for their time. But the cool thing about doing pop-ups at different stores and stuff is most of the time the people who are putting on these events are already being paid no matter what, so then they don't have to charge the booth rent. The last piece of work that I want to talk about is store searching. I sent out a couple of emails to different stores to see if they might want some stickers, and I'm feeling good about that. I gotta keep it up though, because that's the thing, like, consistency is key. I know it's like a cliche thing to say, but consistency is so key. And the more emails you send out, the more people you reach out to, the more opportunity you have to get orders and make money. If you're not going to put in the work, then you're not going to see the results. Okay, next. My habits and obsessions for last week. Actually, we're just gonna call them obsessions, because I've been obsessed with all of these things. First, smoothies. I've been making smoothies like a mad woman. Also, yesterday Josh came home. He went to Meijer for me. I told him I wanted some new fruit for my new fruit. I just needed fruit for my smoothies because we ate it all. This man comes home with, I kid you not, 10 cartons of strawberries, 3 large containers of blueberries, 3 normal average size containers of blackberries, spinach, 5 bunches, 5. Do you hear me? 5 bunches of bananas. He got me mangoes, pineapple, like literally went above and beyond, and then he got me freezer bags so I could go and freeze everything, and so that was amazing. He also they had the bunches of broccoli, like the mini bunches of broccoli on sale. So we got me a bunch of those. Which I just cut up and put into freezer bags so I can just whip them up real quick. But yeah, dude, I'm feeling so blessed for that. Thank you so much, Josh, for getting me all of the things to have the best smoothies ever. I just love smoothies. They're so good, and they just make me feel so much better and like alive. They give me so much energy. It's amazing. Okay, my next obsession has been, I'm not proud to say this because, girl, I have no business doing this, but I have been, as my kind of unwind and relax time. I've been playing Animal Crossings on the Switch. Side note, we have like the regular Nintendo Switch that you can like connect to your TV and take off the controllers, whatever. A couple weeks ago, Josh had a work like meeting. I don't know if it was a meeting or like a celebration or something, but they got like raffle tickets and then they could enter into raffles. Josh won a Nintendo Switch Lite, which the most random thing you could possibly win at a work function. A Nintendo Switch Lite. And for those of you who don't know, Josh works at Coca-Cola and they printed the little Coca-Cola label on it and it's really cute. So I've just been kind of loving that. Originally I started playing Animal Crossings because I was like, okay, I'm gonna set up Animal Crossings on the Switch so that the children can enjoy the game. Yeah, that didn't last for very long because I'm just loving the game so much, and I don't know, it's just been fun. I love Animal Crossings. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it. I would definitely say that my love for Animal Crossings comes and goes because, you know, I'll go months. Like, I went on the other Switch to see where I was at on my other island on my original account, and I hadn't been on Animal Crossings in 4 months, so it definitely comes and goes, but it was fun to restart and kind of design a new island. Plus, I totally just like messed everything up when I first started Animal Crossings, and so starting over, I was like, okay, I actually have a chance to get stuff done on this one. So yeah, Animal Crossings has been an obsession. And then my next obsession is home projects. Josh and I love doing home projects in the springtime or just when the weather's nice. It's just so much easier than when it's cold because then we have to like go in and out in the cold with the power tools and bleh. But the current project that we just got materials for is to revamp the living room. We're painting the walls and then we have to do the trim, and we're also painting our fireplace. We're painting the fireplace like a muted forest green. It's gonna be so beautiful. I'm so excited. So we've been working on that. We are also doing some stuff in the kitchen. We put up a shelf yesterday we got a new set of pots and pans, which are so nice. Seriously, have changed my life when cooking. But the pans don't fit in our cabinets, so we had to get a shelf so we could hang them. We have like a shelf, but then there's hooks to hang the pans on. So the pans are hanging and then the lids are on the top of the shelf. And it looks so nice and I love it. It's very industrial, modern vibes. My last obsession has been, okay, my stepson, my 5-year-old stepson comes home last week and he's like, I got a smartwatch, and it's not really a smartwatch. It's just like this Spider-Man themed quote unquote smartwatch. It's just a regular watch, but there's like a couple of little games he can play on there, and he's just been loving it. And he came out and he's like, do you have a smartwatch? And I was like, you know what, I do, because I have an Apple Watch. I think it's like a Series 5. I got this Apple Watch during COVID and I used it for like a week and never touched it again. But I remember when I first got an Apple Watch, I never took it off. I used it all the time, and so I got it out to show him, and now I've just been wearing it constantly, and I kind of love it. I like that it tracks my movement and stuff, so yeah, that's been nice. So I'm just rocking with it. We're gonna see how it goes. Plus, I like the fact that I can get my notifications through my watch and not have to hold my phone, so that I don't get distracted by the phone, because the phone is the death of me, for real. All right, my goals for this week. Number 1, going on daily walks. I went for my first one in a week yesterday and it was amazing. I felt so good. And then obviously painting the living room, getting all that stuff painted and redone is on the to-do list for this week. I'm so excited to see how much better this room looks when we're done. And then my last goal for the week is to sort through all of my old craft supplies. I posted on my Instagram story last week. I posted to see if anybody would want to buy my old supplies secondhand, and I had a handful of people who are interested, so I have to go through that stuff and then post it on the private story just to kind of get rid of some things. We've really been clearing out our house and selling different things that we don't use anymore, we don't need, and it's been so nice to just have that weight lifted off of our shoulders. Okay, let's get into the topic discussion. I have talked for far too long already, but it's fine. The topic discussion this week: loneliness of being an entrepreneur. Let's get into it. I'm going to talk about my experience first. I am the type of person who loves to create art when I'm with other people. If you listened in the episode where I talked about that summer that I painted with Haley all the time, it was so inspiring. Like, we always had stuff to paint, we always had new ideas. It was awesome. But, you know, that time didn't last forever and we both moved away. And so finding that creative inspiration elsewhere has been really, really hard. It's like you don't know where to turn for that inspiration, and it can be difficult to kind of get into that flow of pulling your ideas out of nowhere or pulling your ideas out of wherever you find inspiration. So that part was hard. Another thing that was hard is losing a lot of friends. It's not even that I lost them, it's just that the effort wasn't there to catch up, to be close anymore. Most of my friends I worked with, it was easy to keep up on those friendships because we saw each other like all week long. When you leave a workplace after being there for years, you can really tell who's there for you and who just saw you as a convenient friend. And so I lost a lot of friends. There was a lot of people that I just didn't stay in contact with. There were a couple, my girl Taylor that I've talked to you guys about, we keep in touch all the time. We're always chatting, we're seeing each other, like we make time for each other. Not everybody does that, and accepting that was really, really hard, but I had to learn to kind of fall in love with the independence. I've always loved working independently. Like in school, I wanted to work alone with my headphones in, so it's easy when I have to do the businessy stuff, but when I'm in that creative zone, I want to be able to share that with other people. And so figuring out how to do that and still feel fulfilled when I'm doing it alone has been a journey. But at the end of the day, something that I have to remind myself is that a lot of successful people are super lonely because they have to protect their energy. They can't just be giving out their days left and right because we have stuff we have to focus on. There's things we got to get done. And the only way to do that sometimes is to do it alone. So that is that. Now, I have 4 different points that I wanted to make to kind of help you guys get through a lonely slump. Basically just things to keep in mind. And the first one is that the path that we are taking as entrepreneurs is not the normal route. It is not the easy or stable way out. It is a risk. It is full of ups and downs, and it is hard. A lot of your friends and family aren't going to understand that, and they aren't going to look at you and take you seriously, and that's going to suck. But you know what? Prove to them. Actually, no, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. Prove it to yourself. If they find respect for you, then cool. If they don't, then they don't. But then those people who are in your corner and saying you're doing awesome, you're inspiring me, you are just doing the thing, like, those are the people you want to keep around because they have appreciated you from day one, and they appreciate what you're doing now, and they're always going to be there. They're always going to be there for you. They don't have to be next to you, but they're always going to be there for you. I think a lot of people have found it a little bit intimidating that I have felt so confident and secure in my path and what I want to do. I remember before I left my job, there was this woman that came in all the time, and when she found out that I was leaving, she had like just the most judgmental attitude ever, saying like, good luck with that, like, okay, you're gonna leave your job and do that? Yeah, girl, I am. And I really took it to heart. It hurt my feelings so bad. But guess what, guys? I had to remind myself, 1, I got this. 2, there's a reason that I'm doing this that is bigger than any stupid serving job at a stupid Applebee's. And 3, that girl who had something to say to me is the same girl who came in every single day and got so drunk that she pissed herself at the bar. Like, come on. That was something that I really needed to like get a grip on. Those people speak from insecurities. Those people speak from jealousy. The people that want to tear you down about going for the things that you want and reaching your goals, they do not matter. I haven't seen that woman since the day I quit, and I never want to see that woman again because, girl, spread some positivity. Goodness, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh. And that was like at the beginning of the journey. I have a thicker skin now, and honestly, like, I'm sure there's people who have said things that in the past I would have really taken to heart and been upset about, but you know, these days I'm like, okay, you're ignorant to the fact that I'm doing my own thing and it's working for me, and I'm so sorry that you have to work at a 9-to-5 and hate your life. It's just not my problem. Also, if you work a 9-to-5, or if you have worked a 9-to-5 and you do like it, listen, I would never crap on somebody for having a 9-to-5 because live your dream. For instance, my fiance, he works a normal Monday through Friday job. It's not a 9-to-5. He works weird hours, but he is happy and that works for him. He's a creature of habit, going in, clocking in, doing the work and coming home. That's his thing. And I totally get that. And he's so content with it. And he feels very stable. He's able to provide for his kids. He's able to provide for the house. Like, everything's taken care of, and he's super happy and he loves his job. Awesome. So do you think he's gonna go around and troll people for doing what they want to do? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's the type of guy where if you tell him like a project, like for me, I always have new ideas. There's new things that I'm working on all the time, and I always tell him about it, and his response is always, do it, babe, get it, babe, good job, like go for it. Like, he's so supportive. And the reason he's so supportive and not a crappy attitude kind of guy is because he is happy. He is content in what he's doing, and obviously, you know, he loves me too, so he would do it anyway. But it's not just because it's me. He does that with anybody. Like, whenever he comes to shows, which he doesn't come to a lot of shows because it's really just my thing, and I am completely fine with that. Like, I don't want to go to work with him, so he does not need to come to shows with me. But when he does, he likes to shop around and talk to the different vendors and kind of hear their stories, and he gets really excited about it. He's just so passionate about it, and I just think it's so cute. Like, yes. If you are content in yourself, you're going to be supportive of others, and it's wonderful and amazing. And all that to say, the people who want to talk crap, they don't deserve your energy. Don't let it suck you dry. Don't let it make you sad, because it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. The next point that I want to make is that it is okay to be and work alone. It is so important to get comfortable with that, and also build the trust within yourself to have your own back. I think that one of the reasons I struggled really hard with the loneliness at the beginning was because working with other people kind of holds you accountable. And I still have accountability buddies, like different friends who have their own businesses. But at the end of the day, you are responsible for getting your stuff done. And if you don't develop a trusting relationship with yourself, you're never going to get stuff done. It's been a journey for me, but I can trust that I'm going to get stuff done. I can trust that what needs to be done by a certain time is going to be done because I've got my own back. I like to set my future self up for success. I like to plan accordingly, and there's no worry in my mind like, am I going to get this done? No, I am going to get it done because I deserve the feeling of completion and success and less stress. So learning how to have your own back is really important, and it's hard. The more you let yourself down, the less likely you are to grow. You keep proving to yourself that you're not going to do the thing that you need to do. So definitely make it a point to prove to yourself how important your priorities are. The third point I want to make is to be very aware and very intentional about who you allow yourself to work with or share information with, especially when you're starting out. It is so easy to get taken advantage of in any field of business. Don't let it happen. If the vibes seem slightly off, run the other direction. Just don't even go for it. You don't want to get stuck in a situation where people are leeching onto you and sucking you dry of your energy, all with the intention to grow their own situation. It's just so important to be mindful of who you're allowing into your life, and especially into your business, because your business is your baby. Take care of it. Don't let people touch your baby unless you really trust them. The last point is that you are who you spend time with. So like I said with the last one, being intentional with who you let touch your business, that sounded weird. Who you let contribute to your business, none of this sounds good. Okay, similar to the last point, are the people you're spending your free time with, are they bringing you down, or are they lifting you up? Are they helping you, or are they hurting you? This is another reason why it gets lonely, because you need to start setting those boundaries and figuring out who is helping you and who is hindering you. For me, the silence was loud, I'm sure, to a lot of people, because the people that I had once communicated with all the time, every day, they kind of disappeared from my life because I made the realization, hey, your vibes are not great, so therefore, they're not making my vibes great. And therefore, I'm out of here. So it's definitely important to kind of reflect on that and really be picky when it comes to who you're spending your time with. And that's why it got lonely, because I knew that spending my time with all these people who I thought were making me feel more full and less lonely, I thought that was helping me, but no, it really wasn't. It was kind of just a distraction from what I actually needed to get done, and a distraction from the path that I really wanted to take, like a higher path. Like, I want to grow, I want to flourish, and a lot of the people that I was giving my energy to were not on that same wavelength. So it was very important to me to set those boundaries and not be so willy-nilly with who I let suck me dry of my energy. All right. Lastly, let's get into the journal prompts. The first journal prompt I've got for you is, how do I feel when I'm working alone? The next one is, do my current friends or relationships hinder or assist my ability to show up for myself? And explain that. And the last journal prompt, how can I improve my day-to-day life as an entrepreneur? Answer those questions. See if they help you in any way. Reflect on them. Honestly, okay, this is why I say to do the journal prompts, because whether you realize it or not, doing the journal prompts makes you think about it and be more mindful of it, because you're actually putting energy into it. Therefore, the energy is within you. So do the journal prompts. They will help you in some capacity, I promise. Let's do a quick recap. Remember that your path is not normal. You are not taking the easy or stable way out, and a lot of people aren't going to get that. Next, remember that it is okay to be alone and work alone, and you need to get comfortable with that so that you can build trust within yourself so that you can have your own back. Next, be mindful and aware about who you are working with and sharing your business info with. Don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of. Lastly, you are who you spend time with. Don't engage with the people who are bringing you down. That is all I have for you. I hope that this was helpful in some way. I appreciate you guys tuning in and bringing your beautiful ears to my podcast this week. I love you so much. Make sure you check out the socials. Follow me on Instagram, especially if you didn't see that message about me dying last week. Make sure you're on the Instagram, and I will talk to you next week. Bye!